morning, everyone. We have had 2 amazing days of the Australia-Bhutan Research Conference, and I'm sure everyone is eagerly looking forward to the deliberations on the third and final day of the conference. Honorable Dashos, distinguished guests, scholars, researchers, students, and my dear friends, a very good morning to all of you. I'm happy to share a few thoughts on this important thematic session on governance, public policy, and leadership, particularly through the lens of how higher education and research can and must contribute to bridging and enhancing these critical aspects of nation building. We gather at a moment in history when expectations on governments, institutions, and leaders are rising at an unprecedented pace. Of course, governance, as we know, is a broad term, and it is not just about governments governing a country, but rather refers to the processes, structures, and institutions through which authority is exercised and decisions are made in governments, organizations, and other entities. So we have, for example, corporate governance, university governance, or governance of private companies, etc. The world is being reshaped by artificial intelligence, rapid technological advances, climate pressures, demographic transitions, and shifting geopolitical realities. In such a world, the premium on good governance, or as His Majesty would put it, intelligent governance, data-driven public policy, evidence-based decision-making, and ethical and adaptive leadership has never been higher. In the age of AI and digital transformation, decision-making that relies on intuition alone, as we know, is no longer adequate. Citizens today demand evidence, transparency, speed, and accountability. Development challenges from climate vulnerability to youth unemployment and migration, digital disruption, and rural-urban divides require coordinated, multi-sectoral, and well-informed responses. Governments must leverage knowledge, data, and research at every step. Across the world, countries that effectively harness research and expertise in their decision-making are demonstrating remarkable resilience. Finland's education research policy ecosystem, Singapore's whole-of-nation strategy, the UK's tradition of independent policy think tanks, and Australia's Australia's strong university-government partnerships all demonstrate a fundamental truth. Countries that invest in knowledge builds a future of stability, innovation, and progress. Reports indicate that in most OECD countries, governments allocate more grants that focus on research and specific analysis that is aimed at improving institutional structure and research. Bhutan, too, is entering a new chapter, one shaped by the National Transformation Agenda, civil service reform, education reform, and the emergence of technologies that will profoundly influence our society. This moment calls for leadership that is not only competent, but visionary, agile, curious, and collaborative, as His Majesty the King often emphasizes. Around the world, universities are not merely teaching institutions offering academic degrees. They are indeed the intellectual infrastructure of a nation, central to shaping governance, policy, and leadership in a fundamental and continuous manner. For example, the Royal University of Bhutan has close to 10,000 students. These students, many of whom are also sitting here with us today, they are the future leaders of Bhutan, whether they become public servants, entrepreneurs, teachers, engineers, social workers, or researchers. they will influence policy and shape governance in countless ways. That is why our responsibility as a university is profound. Leadership development does not happen by accident, nor can it be done in the short haul. It happens through the cultivation of the right values such as integrity, responsibility, empathy, resilience, etc. Through the development of 21st century competencies such as critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, communication, collaboration, and so on. And through developing the right mindsets such as curiosity, lifelong learning, openness to diverse perspectives, and the courage to question and innovate. And the university is the right place for this holistic development of leadership over the long haul. Every classroom in the Royal University, or for that matter in any university in the world, should be a leadership incubator. Every faculty member is not just an academic, but a mentor shaping the next generation of Bhutanese leaders. Yesterday, during the fireside chat on AI and the future of higher education, we were listening to how teachers must play an increasing role not only to provide academic content, but more importantly on the holistic development of students with the right values and mindsets in an era increasingly dominated by technologies including artificial intelligence. We must align and adapt our curricula in response to the growing needs and challenges of our times so that we stay relevant and useful at all times. Research sits at the very heart of good governance. No policy can be truly effective unless it is grounded in evidence, informed by rigorous analysis, and shaped by a deep understanding of local realities. Universities have the unique ability to generate this knowledge. Through impact assessments, policy evaluations, and the generation of localized, context-specific data, we help governments and institutions understand what is working and what is not and what needs to change. By producing policy briefs, white papers, and expert analysis, universities illuminate pathways forward, offering analytical tools, scenario mapping, and forecasting that help leaders make informed, future-oriented decisions. We document emerging social, economic, environmental, and technological trends long before they appear on the desks of policymakers, helping the nation anticipate rather than react. Around the world, the most effective public policies are strengthened by the intellectual power of universities. Australia's Productivity Commission draws heavily on university research. New Zealand's social sector reforms rely on decades of academic evaluation. East Asian economic transformation models are deeply intertwined with university-based research, embedded at every level of national planning. Bhutan, too, stands to benefit immensely from this model, especially now as we navigate one of the most ambitious and far-reaching transformations in our country's history. While offering high-quality academic degrees remains our core mandate and an indispensable service to the nation, it can no longer be our only contribution. Bhutan cannot afford a university that stands by passively, delivering qualifications while watching the country transform from a distance. We must be an active engine of ideas, solutions, and innovation. We must step forward as thought leaders, shaping strategic national conversations with courage, depth, and clarity. There was acknowledgement from our own university researchers during this conference that while RUB conducts numerous researches, their influence on policy and innovation remains to be questioned. Therefore, the Royal University of Bhutan must generate research that responds directly to national priorities and not only for academic purposes. This requires us to work more deliberately with ministries, Dzongkhaks, corporations, CSOs, and communities, ensuring that our policies, programs, and reforms are informed by real data, real experiences, and real needs. Our role is not limited to academic inquiry. It extends to supporting governance systems through analytical insights and applied research, helping the nation design reforms that are evidence-based, pragmatic, and forward-looking. In this effort, we must embrace what many nations now recognize as the quadruple helix model, a dynamic framework in which universities, government, industry, and civil society work together to drive innovation, resilience, and national progress. The need for a stronger quadruple helix strategy in synergy in Bhutan was also emphasized during the fireside chat on bridging research, innovation, and policy on day one of this conference. Around the world, countries that have transformed their economics have done so not through isolated institutions, but through this inclusive and synergistic partnership. Governments create enabling conditions, industries bring real-world challenges and innovation opportunities, universities contribute research, talent, and thought leadership, and communities provide the lived experiences, cultural wisdom, and public insight that ensure solutions are meaningful and grounded. Bhutan, too, stands to benefit immensely from this model. By strengthening this four-way collaboration, we can accelerate solutions, elevate policy effectiveness, and ensure that national initiatives are both scientifically sound and socially responsive, aligning with the vision of His Majesty, the King, and the aspirations of the Bhutanese people. And above all, we must nurture a generation of leaders, ethical, competent, curious, digitally fluent, entrepreneurial, and globally aware, who will guide Bhutan through the complexities of a rapidly changing world. This leadership development is not an accessory to our mission. It is rather central to it. Every classroom, every research project, every mentorship interaction is shaping the future stewards of Bhutan's governance, economy, and society. In short, the RUB must position itself at the forefront of the ongoing national transformation, not at the periphery and not certainly a distant observer. We must be a driving force, an institution that brings value, relevance, and intellectual leadership to the country's transformation journey. As a public university, the RUB receives generous financial support from the government. Yet, as Bhutan's aspirations and expectations from the university expand, so too must the university's capacity. If RUB is to stand at the forefront of the national transformation, especially in the realm of research and innovation, our national investment in higher education must also evolve. Universities possess immense intellectual capital, but this expertise must intentionally be engaged and adequately resourced. Government ministries, corporations, CSOs, and local governments can draw far more purposefully from the university's research strengths, technical skills, and disciplinary knowledge. In return, they can empower us through research grants and long-term funding commitments, commission studies that address real policy and operational needs, collaborative projects with full access to relevant data, scholarships, internships, and problem-based learning opportunities, clearly articulated national challenges that allow our students and faculty to generate practical solutions. Such an approach creates a powerful virtuous cycle. The nation gains from rigorous evidence-based decision-making. The university strengthens its research ecosystem, academic excellence, and relevance. And together, we accelerate Bhutan's development in ways that are thoughtful, innovative and future-ready as envisioned by His Majesty the King. As we look toward the future, the message is clear. Good governance requires good data. Good policy requires good research. And good leadership requires good education. National transformation, however, demands more than individual effort. It calls for all of us, governments, universities, industries, and civil society, working in close collaboration with clarity of purpose and a shared sense of direction. The Royal University of Bhutan stands ready to contribute to this collective journey, not merely as a provider of academic degrees, but as an active and reliable partner, a generator of new knowledge, a cultivator of future leaders, and a driver of sustainable national progress. In a few moments, we will hear 4 presentations that will explore these very themes in depth: the role of corporate social responsibility in achieving the SDGs in Bhutan, financing and governance challenges in primary education, reimagining post-pandemic work culture to support psychological well-being, and the emergence of evaluation ecosystem in Bhutan. I anticipate that these presentations will shed further light on the ideas I have shared above, providing practical insights and innovative perspectives that can guide us in strengthening governance, shaping public policy, and nurturing leadership across the country. Thank you, and Tash Dillela.